Hello everyone, good morning. Today we will see about fluid. What is a fluid? A substance that can easily flow and take the shape of its container. Liquids are fluids. Gases are fluids. Viscosity is the physical property, the resistance of a fluid to flow. Fluid. Fluid mechanics is the branch of science that studies the mechanics of fluids. The fluids include the liquids, gases, and plasmas, and the forces on them. Pressure. Pressure is the force acting on a certain area of surface. When you press your hand against a wall, you are applying a pressure on that particular area of the wall. If you increase the force, the pressure will also increase. Pressure. Pressure is equal to force by area. Pressure in fluids. A score. Related without calculation, the pressure beneath the liquid surface to depth and to density using appropriate examples. Fluid pressure. All of the particle forces combine to make the total force exerted by the fluid. Fluid pressure is equal to total fluid force by area. Pressure in a fluid. Liquids and gases are fluids, materials that can flow and have no different shape. Water and air are both fluids. Objects in a fluid experience an upward buoyant force which can make them a fluid. Fluid pressure. Water depth is equal to how far below you are under the water. The collision of molecules gives rise to pressure. The gas pressures and gas molecules in separated to the particular vessels or bottles. Pressure. The pressure is measuring of B of the fluid at the level to which the device is been submerged is the ratio of the force to the area. Pressure is equal to F by A. F is a force, A is a area, P is the pressure. The figure is explained to the pressure due to liquid Coleman. Static fluid pressure does not depend on the shape, total mass, surface area of the liquid. Pressure is equal to weight by area. The weight is measured to mg. The area is measured to A. Is equal to rho Vg by A is equal to rho G H. V is the velocity in volume of the water. Surface of mercury in the one vessel and the atmospheric pressure is included to the water. The 760 millimeter is depth on the surface of mercury. The pressure exerted by the column of mercury. Pascal law. The Pascal law states that a pressure exerted on a confined fluid is exerted equal in all directions throughout the fluids. We will see about demonstration of Pascal's law. The Pascal's formula. That brings us to a very important formula. P is the pressure is equal to force by area. P is equal to pressure, F is the force and A is the area. This expresses that pressure is force per unit area. Density. Density is a physical property of matter. Density can be defined as the amount of matter in a given space. Force increase with hydraulic power. The F2, the one side is F2, the another side is F1. F2 is the front side 1, the F2 is the back side. So A2 by A1. The fluid is measuring to the P1 is equal to P2. The A1 by A, the F1 by A1 is equal to F2 by A2. The F2 by F1 in one side is equal to A2 by A1. The F and A is equal. Such depends on A2 by A1, the force F1 becomes applied in the factor A2 by A1. P1 is equal to P2. F1 by A1 is equal to F2 by A2. P1 is the measure applied on small position. P2 is pressure applied on large position. F1 is the input force and F2 is the output force. Density. Density is how much mass something has in a certain volume. How can one have more matter if they are the same size? The first one is 100 kilogram. The second one is 200 kilogram. What is density? Rho is equal to m by v. Rho is the density, m is the mass, v is the volume. Relative density. Relative density, a specific gravity, is the ratio of the density, the mass of unit volume of a substance to the density of a given reference material. It tells us how dense or heavy is the density of a substance with respect to water. Relative density has no units. Density is equal to mass by volume. Relative density is equal to density of substance divided by density of water. Floating and sinking. There is always a downward force in an submerged object. The object's weight. If the weight of the object is greater than the buoyant force, the net force on a submerged object will be downward and the object will sink. We will see about hydrometer. The lead source in the hydrometer are full include to the water. Weight of object. The one object is we are throw out the water. The object are not to depth on the water. The fluid buoyant the force. Float. Sink is fulfilled in the water. Flow is not fulfilled in the water. Buoyant force, buoyant force. Certain diver. Less water, more air, the diver floats. More water, less air, the diver sinks. Archimedes principle. An object immersed in a liquid has an upward buoyant force equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the object. An object will float if the upward buoyant force is greater than the object's weight. Archimedes principle formula. F is equal to rho b gv. Fe, the object beyond the force. Rho, the density of the fluid. V, fluid volume. We will see about upthrust is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced. W1, true weight of object, not to depth in the water. F2, W2, amount of water displaced. The object are include to the depth of the water, so the water is delivery to the outside. We will see about center of buoyancy. The buoyancy, the underground water volume is very high, but the boat is moved to the water. The boat underground is fulfill depth on the water. Laws of flotation. Laws of flotation are the weight of a floating body in a fluid is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body. The center of gravity of the floating body and the center of buoyancy are in the same virtual line. Fluids. Pressure in fluids. The pressure due to liquids. Pressure due to liquid column. Atmospheric pressure. A measurement parameter. Pascal's law. It is explained of the hydraulic pressure. Relative density. Hydrometer and the lactometer. Buoyancy. Certain diver. Archimedes principle. Laws of flotation. Reference. This is a reference of the fundamentals of fluid mechanics. The author Philip M. Hergart, Andrew L. Gergart, John I. Hoskstein. Fluid Mechanics, 9th edition, Frank M. White, Henry XQ. And they are using in the online websites. Thank you everyone.